Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarchinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandhadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sankavadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasti Tadadgatena Manasam Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. So, namaste once again, everyone.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Okay. Right. So, the first sloka. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Evam Satata Yuktaye.
Evam Satata Yuktaye.
Bhaktasvam Paryupasate.
Bhaktasvam Paryupasate.
Ye Chapyaksharam Avyaktam.
Ksharam
Tesham ke yoga vittamah. So the 12th chapter begins with a question from Arjuna, in which Arjuna asks whether Saguna Dhyana Upasaka, the meditator upon the Lord with various attributes, is superior, or Nirguna Dhyana Upasaka, the meditator upon the Lord who is absolutely free from all features. The Lord and features and attributes is superior. And we know Saguna Dhyana means meditation on Ishvara with attributes, as described in so many places. Vishnu Sahasranama Dhyana Slokas, Meghashyamam, Pita Kauseyavasam, Srivatsangam, Kaustubo Vatsidangam, etc., etc., all Dhyana Slokas, Vishnu Sahasranamam, they describe all the attributes of Lord Vishnu, Ishvara. And all these descriptions are called guna, qualities or features. So Saguna Dhyana means meditation upon the Lord with various features. Whether you can take all the features together or you can take any one of them and meditate upon that. Whereas Nirguna Dhyanam means meditation upon the Lord without features. Featureless Ishvara. Asabda, Ashabda, Asparsha, Arupa, Arasa, Agandha Ishvara. That is Nirguna Dhyana. So Arjuna's question is, in between these two, which one is superior? And we saw that when Arjuna is speaking about Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam, he is referring to Vishwarupa Ishvara Swarupa, which was the topic of the just previous chapter. And the attributes of that Ishvara were described by Krishna in the 10th chapter. Vibhuti Yoga, all that, he described in detail. So all these descriptions are fresh in Arjuna's mind. And this is one reason why he is raising this question. And there is another important reason for Arjuna's question. Meditation on Saguna Ishvara is possible because Ishvara has got many attributes, including form, qualities, description of the physical attributes. Rama is called Mahabahu, Attayer, etc., isn't it? So they are talked about in various scriptures. So it is easy to visualize such an Ishvara and take up one of these features as alambanam for meditation. And as I explained in the last class, the purpose of such meditation is chitta ekagrata, develop a focused mind. But meditation on Akshara Ishvara, that is Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam, is not that easy because Nirguna Brahma is avyaktam, attributeless Ishvara, not perceptible to any of our 5 sense organs. It is not objectifiable through any of the sense organs, and therefore, avyaktam means what? Sarva Indriya Gocharam. And Arjuna knows that despite the difficulties involved, some people are able to meditate upon this Nirguna Avyakta Brahman. So naturally, now what we all think, and Arjuna also probably is thinking in the same lines, the rule is the task which is more challenging, more difficult is considered superior. Isn't it? For example, running a marathon is supposed to be superior than, say, 1,000 meters sprint or 100 meters sprint, etc. Another example, climbing the Mount Everest is considered to be a superior achievement than climbing some other small mountain peak. So the Arjuna has got these two things before him. And he is not sure whether this example of climbing mountain, etc., can be applied to meditation. Because of the vast difference in the nature of alambana. In the case of mountain climbing, both are peaks. One is a smaller peak, another is a very tall peak, Everest. But here, for Nirguna Brahma, there is no alambanam. So probably it is not a good comparison also. And therefore, one aspect of his question is, if Nirguna Brahman is not objectifiable, how can these people even meditate upon? What will be the alambanam? And the answer lies in the core message of Advaita Vedanta, which says there is only one way of meditation. In fact, Advaita Vedanta, in the advanced level, doesn't talk about Saguna Ishvara Dhyana. Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam is prescribed only at the Sadhana Chatushtaya level, at the qualifying level. And therefore, what Vedanta says is an unobjectifiable Brahman can be meditated upon only in one thing. And what is that? Only one correct answer. It's like, the quiz in that, what is that called? Amitabh Bachchan.
बनेगा करोड़पति कौन
कौन
बनेगा
बनेगा
करोड़पति
करोड़पति? I think there's a Tamil version also of that. I don't know. I've heard. How can you meditate upon unobjectifiable Brahman? And there is only one method, and that is to see the unobjectifiable Brahman as the subject I, the meditator himself. So Nirguna Brahma Upasana is meditation upon the meditator. It is Atma Dhyanam alone. And for that, there are so many alambanas. Because the Upanishads are replete with so many descriptions of Atma. Pick up any one of them. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Avyakta, so many are there. Mundaka Upanishad itself, we are seeing so many, and we will see so many also in the second Mundaka. So many more we will see. So these people, Arjuna says, are able to do this Atma Jnanam, Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam, so which is superior among the two? So he asked Tesham. Tesham means Tayor Madhye, between these two groups of people. Ke Yoga Vittama hai, which one is superior? Saguna Bhakta, Saguna Dhyata is superior, or Nirguna Dhyata is superior? Dhyata means meditator. And the indirect implication of the question is what? Instead of directly asking is Saguna Brahma or Saguna Ishvara superior or Nirguna Ishvara superior, is very, politically being correct. He is asking a question, which meditator is superior? And as I said in the last class, Arjuna is exhibiting the normal human psychology. Because all the time we keep comparing one thing with another. Arjuna doesn't seem to be an exception to this behavioral tendency. So now Krishna has to answer this question, which he is doing in the following verses. Okay. We will read verse number 2. You can all unmute. Shri
श्री
Bhagavan
भगवान
Uvacha
श्री भगवान उवाच
Vacha
Maya Veshya Mano Ye Mam
मय्यावेश्य मनो
Mano
ये माम्
Yema
Nitya Yukta Upasate
नित्ययुक्ता उपासते
Upasate
Shraddhaya Parayopeta
श्रद्धया
Shraddhaya
परयो
Parayopetaha
Te me Yuktatama Mataha.
ते मे
Teme
युक्ततमा मताः
Yuktatamaha
So the Anvaya is Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Aveshya Manah Mayi Upeta hai Paraya Shraddhaya Te Nitya Yukta hai ये उपासत नित्य युक्ता है ये उपासते माम मता है युक्त तमाह में. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lord Krishna said, Aveshya manaha, fixing the mind, focusing the mind, mayi upon me, upetaha paraya shraddhaya, with great faith, te nitya yukta hai, those ever steadfast devotees, ye upasate mam, who meditate upon me, mata hai yukta tama hai, are considered to be the best yogis may by me. So Lord Krishna said, fixing the mind upon me with great faith, those ever steadfast devotees who meditate upon me are considered to be the best yogis by me. Krishna is very, very smart, very smart. It's just, I think people, our ministers in the parliament, when they answer the question, or no, questions put by opposition members, they have learnt a lot of things from Bhagavad Gita. The answer, which they give will be answer to the question, but the questioner will not gain any more knowledge than what he already has. Okay. So Krishna is very smart. He is answering like that. So what is the answer? Is Saguna Bhakti superior or Nirguna Bhakti superior? Generally, we will say, oh, no, you see, Nirguna Bhakti and all, I don't know. Saguna Bhakti is superior because in Saguna Bhakti alone, there is variety, there is beauty. Adaram, Maduram, Vadanam, Maduram, Nayanam, Maduram, all that is there, isn't it? And when I am visualizing the Lord with so many attributes, close my eyes and meditate, there's an automatic smile on my face. Feel so happy at that time. So, Saguna Bhakti or Saguna Upasanam is superior. That will be a vast majority of people. Let's say even 99% of the people, they will say and they will relate to Saguna Ishvara only. Because as I said, who will like Nirguna Ishvara? First of all, they don't even know what is Nirguna Ishvara. How can there be an Ishvara without guna? That will be a question. No sound, no form, no touch, no taste. Like, some in Europe and all you go, at least Indians, the food will be very bland, Nothing will be there. And you will wonder how these people are all eating such a food. No sweet, no pungent, no chilli, no taste whatsoever. So who will like such a Nirguna Ishvara? In fact, because of all these reasons, many philosophers say Nirguna Ishvara does not exist. They say it's all just made up by all these Vedantins, Nirguna and all that. They say outright, they negate Nirguna Ishvara. And even among those who accept it, they say, it's okay, maybe there, consciousness and all they talk about, but it is not worth knowing or teaching. It is useless. And that is why you see Bhagavatam classes are more popular. Hundreds of people will attend. Vedanta classes, only very few will be there. People won't relate easily to Nirguna Brahma. Okay. So now what is the real answer? The real answer is the question itself is wrong. For a wrong question, there can be no right answer. For example, if you ask, which fruit is better, apple or orange? What will be the answer? And this is a problem many husbands face, Of course, no offense meant to anyone. This is just an observation. You can take it, in a light way. And not again based on any personal experience. Don't think that, Ganapathy's Guruji must have had this experience and all. It is not like that. But it is based on some jokes I have come across. Suppose there is a couple who are getting ready to go for a party. And the wife will ask the husband whether I should wear a silk saree or should I wear some party wear like a lehenga or anarkali suit, etc. Now, there is no right answer to this question. Only husbands know that. And for every husband, honestly speaking, the wife will look beautiful and majestic in any dress she wears. Irrespective of what color it is, what type of dress it is, she will like beautifully. He will adore the wife. But then this is a catch-22 situation. He cannot remain quiet. He cannot give an answer also, but he has to give an answer. And many husbands will struggle to find an answer. If he says, no, silk sari looks very good on you, then the question will be, oh, you mean to say that I don't look good on lehenga or anarkali suit, etc.? I don't look good on party wear. You are always, you are the old kind of thinking. Always silk sari and all that. In this heat and humidity, how can I wear silk sari? Now, the question was asked by the wife. And the options was given by her. Now she will, go give it back to the husband. Then that's where husbands, they get confused. They don't know what to answer. No answer also is a problem. If you give any answer also is a problem. And I am sure, of course, that many husbands, this may be just a, a illustration, but there are many other situations, One situation I can tell you. Many spouses will ask, what should I make for breakfast today? So the husband will be, because he doesn't know what all things are there at home, to make breakfast. So he will just say, okay, make dosa. She'll say, but I don't have dosa batter. Then he will say, okay, you do one thing, you make dokla, dokla. I don't know how to make dokla. Then what do you want to make? See, I have got rava, I will make upuma. Now, this upuma is a standard thing which the wife has been making every third day. So, when she has already decided what is to be made, still the answer has to come from the husband. If he says, okay, make upma, oh, that is what, that's a beautiful, I was also thinking that only, she will say. Anyway, all these are all, please don't take this seriously or, just...
There could be an option, go out and eat.
Option, go out and eat also is there, yeah. But that option, husband will not suggest. Normally, that suggestion comes from the wife. We'll go, why not we go out and eat today, like that. So anyhow, please, because these are all some of the, aside remarks only a grihastha can make. A sannyasi cannot make these kind of jokes. Anyway. So therefore, there are some questions for which there are no answers. Another example, if you are planning a holiday, there can be comparison between two destinations, and also there can be a comparison between two roads that can be taken to reach the destination. But there cannot be a choice between the road and destination because one is the means and other is the end. Therefore, whenever you try to compare two things to find out which is superior, we must understand the very question of comparison comes only when You have to choose between two comparable things. Then you ask the question whether this is better or that is better. So you can choose the better one. So the choice can be there between only two comparable things. There is no question of choice between two dissimilar things. Similarly, Saguna Bhakti and Nirguna Bhakti can never be compared because one is the means, the other is the end. Saguna Bhakti is the sadhanam, the means, the stepping stone, acquiring of the qualification, and only through Saguna Bhakti one has to reach Nirguna Bhakti, which is the ultimate goal. Saguna Bhakti is Dvaitam. Nirguna Bhakti is Advaitam. Saguna Bhakti is Bheda hai, full of differences. Nirguna Bhakti is Abheda hai. And therefore, you do not, or rather cannot have a choice between them. Everyone has to go through Saguna Bhakti, and everyone has to end in the discovery of Nirguna Bhakti, which is Abheda Advaita Jnanam. Without Saguna Bhakti, Nirguna Bhakti is impossible. Without Nirguna Bhakti, Saguna Bhakti is incomplete. What Saguna Dhyanam can give, Nirguna Dhyanam cannot give. And what Nirguna Dhyanam gives, Saguna Dhyanam cannot give. And therefore, both are compulsory. And therefore, everyone has to go through Saguna Bhakti, come to Nirguna Bhakti, which is the culmination of the sadhana. Now, Krishna is in a dilemma. If he gives this answer, hey, what are you talking, Arjuna? I think I wasted 11 chapters. Huh? Because it's a silly question. How are you asking which is superior between two incomparable things? Krishna easily could have asked, but no teacher, no guru will counter any question of the student in such a manner that the student feels bad. A teacher is always conscious of the fact that the student should not feel insulted, humiliated. Even when the student and teacher are alone, because one can say that, okay, when so many other students are there, it is okay. But when they alone, who can't the teacher say something to the student? Even in that case also, a guru has got to be very, very careful. Should not say or do anything which will upset the student. Because the student, he has come to the guru, he already has got so many complexes. And that is why, many times you will find the student will ask a question. And the question will start with, the student will say, Guruji, I know it is a silly question, but I will still ask. So already the student is suffering from some complex that the question which is there in my mind, whether Guruji may not find it silly, but other people, other students, co-students may find it silly. They will go ahead and talk. What, they're wasting my time. He's asking silly question. He or she is asking silly question. That complex will be there. And that is why, I keep repeating, keep insisting. No question of a student is silly. Every question is a genuine doubt in the mind of the student. And the guru is duty bound to answer that question to his best ability rather. And only when that happens, every question can be answered and the student can come out of some of the complexes that the student suffers from. Every question arises out of a genuine doubt, and your doubt may not be the same doubt I have. I might have understood everything, that's a different thing, but that does not mean that everybody should have understood everything. Different backgrounds are there. People come from different language backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. So many differences are there between students, and therefore a guru has to consider every question of the student as valid. It is the duty of the guru to receive the question seriously and answer in a manner preserving the student's dignity. Of course, any question appears to be silly after you know the answer. But until you know the answer, the question is extremely important and relevant. And through this, I am giving you all a message. Please never ever hesitate to ask any question in the satsanga. And please note that it is my bounden duty to answer the questions to the best of my ability. I may not know all the answers to all the questions that you raise. In case I don't know the answer, I will only tell you that I will look up this. I don't know the immediate, I don't have an immediate answer. I will find out in the next class. I will let you know. This is the maximum I can do. But no question can be dismissed as silly question. And therefore, Krishna, being a teacher, what is Vishwaguru, right? Does not say, Arjuna, you are wrong. But he gives a very intelligent answer. He says, Saguna Bhaktas are superior, but Nirguna Bhaktas attain me. Huh? We can even term it as a mischievous answer. No, they say, no, the innate nature of a person does not change. And we know about Krishna. In his childhood, he was very mischievous. And it seems he still continues to be so in this philosophical text also. Yeah. So the idea is, Krishna wants to tell Arjuna, Arjuna, understand, there is no question of choice. No doubt, Saguna Bhakta is indeed very great. So that everyone will take to Saguna Bhakti in the beginning. And then once a person has gained enough Chitta Ekagrata and progressed in the Vedanta path, in the spiritual path, later on such questions will become redundant. He knows, he will know that now, after I have got enough sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, I have understood the basics of Vedanta from Tattva Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, etc. I have also started getting exposed to the Upanishads, especially Bhashyam. I know what is this route map of this entire spiritual journey. The end goal is Aham Brahmasmi Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam, through which I will gain that knowledge. So Saguna Bhakti is necessary, compulsory in the beginning. And once a person has sufficiently practiced, he can be slowly absorbed into, initiated into Nirguna Bhakti, and that too when? At a much, much later stage, after Shravanam, Mananam is done. And after Mananam, the sadhaka, the upasaka, the seeker has no doubt about the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta teaching. Now all that remains to be done is he needs to assimilate that knowledge. He needs to live that knowledge. That is only required. And for that, he has to get rid of all his complexes, emotional entanglements, everything that is now which are now pulling him back into samsara. He understands he has to get rid of them. And then the only sadhana that he can do for that is nirguna dhyanam, nirguna bhakti. So that time he will not ask this question whether saguna dhyanam is superior or nirguna dhyanam is superior. And once you say both of them are compulsory, Krishna will himself clarify later how to practice. Of course, as I said, they cannot be simultaneously practiced, and therefore they have to be practiced in a graded manner. Like first going to a primary school, then secondary school, college, if you want to become a graduate, and then post-graduation, etc. Now, if you want to become a graduate, what will be the use of your going to a primary school or even a secondary school? Of course, you have to go through primary, secondary school only, isn't it? You have to qualify yourself to enter the college. And then you have to go through college and then eventually become a graduate. Therefore, both are required, schools as well as colleges. And even when both are required, will you go to both of them simultaneously? Morning to nursery and evening to a college. That also cannot be done. So they have to be sequential in a graded manner. And once you know they are to be in a graded manner, you will also know what is the order. You can't first go to college and then say that after I finish college, I will come back to nursery. No, that is not a proper order. First school and then college, isn't it? All these are all I'm just explaining, nothing, no need for any major explanation. But sometimes when we are dealing with some heavy subjects, some little bit of, in movies and all, they do drama and all. When a very heavy scene is there, after that there will be some song, some comedy and all will be there. So some light movements also we need to have in order to sustain our focus on the heavy subjects. So similarly, Saguna Dhyanam prepares for Nirguna Dhyanam. Saguna Dhyanam chastens the mind, purifies the mind for Nirguna Dhyanam. And therefore, everyone has to start with Saguna, grow, and then come to Nirguna and be free. And therefore, Arjuna, do not ask which is better. And of course, as I said, Krishna does not want to say that Arjuna, you are wrong. And therefore, what does he do? Very diplomatically, he says, Saguna Dhyana Kartas are superior. Nirguna Dhyana Karta will reach me. So everybody is satisfied, isn't it? Now you can say whatever you want to take from this answer. Who is superior? And therefore, in the second verse, he says, Mayi aveshya manaha yemam upasate. Aveshya, fixing or focusing, manaha the mind, mam upon me. Upasate, they meditate. So there are some people who practice meditation, focusing their mind upon me. And what type of mam? That we have to supply. Sagunam mam, the Saguna Krishna, either in the form of Ekarupa Krishna as a personal God, or Vishwarupa Krishna as described in the 11th chapter. But as I said, here Arjuna is referring to Vishwarupa, so we can take it as Vishwarupa Dhyana. But Vishwarupa is also Saguna Ishvara only, isn't it? Thus, there are some people who meditate upon me in Saguna form, focusing their mind upon me. And it is not that they practice this meditation occasionally in fits and starts. Whenever they do not have anything better to do, they sit, okay, let me do Saguna Dhyanam. No. They are Nitya Yuktas, ever steadfast, ever committed, consistently without fail. They practice Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam. It is a part of their daily routine. And they are endowed with Paraya Shraddhaya Upeta hai. Upeta hai means endowed with. Paraya Shraddhaya, intense faith. When they practice that meditation, they are not practicing to show everybody in the world, oh, you see, I am practicing meditation, family and all that, don't disturb me. No, not for that. When they practice meditation, they are endowed with intense faith in me, because the benefit of Saguna Dhyanam is not material plane, in the material plane. God does not promise any material benefit. Saguna Ishvara Puja you can do, Saguna Ishvara Homam you can do for material benefit. But Saguna Ishvara Dhyanam, meditation, Upasana is meant only for inner growth, purity of the mind, expansion of the mind, sensitivity of the mind, refinement of the mind. That is the only purpose of Saguna Ishvara Dhyana. And all these things are non-tangible, non-quantifiable results. And therefore, when we do meditation on even Saguna Ishvara, the results are non-tangible, non-quantifiable. We don't see any result physically. And because of that, we have to have faith in that result. And it works. I can personally tell you, add my own guarantee card to that. And therefore, Krishna says they meditate with intense faith that that meditation will transform their inner personality. And then Krishna says, Te me yukta tamaha mata hai. Those people who practice such a Saguna Dhyanam, they are indeed superior, they are indeed great people. And I consider such people as great yogis. Yukta tamaha means great yogis. So, Saguna Upasaka have been glorified now. Now, having said that, in the next verses, Krishna makes a statement that Nirguna Upasakas reach me. So, he sows the seeds of confusion in Arjuna's mind and also in our mind. Basically, what Krishna wants to say without saying it in so many words is, please do not compare these two. They are incomparable. So we will read the next two verses, 3 and 4 together. Okay? Because he gives the answers in these two verses.
Okay.
Okay, you can unmute.
Yes.
Ye tvakcharamanirdeshyam
Ye
Charam
tvaksharamanirdeshyam
avyaktam paryupasate
Avyaktam
avyaktam
Paryupasate
sarvatra gamachintyam cha
Sarvatra Gamachyam Cha
kastamachalam dhruvam
Kutastatham
Kutastatham
dhruvam
sanniyamyendriyagramam
Sanniyam
Sanniyamnendriyagramam
sarvatra samabuddhayah
Sarvatra Samabuddhayah
Sarvatra
te prapnuvanti mameva
te
Prabhuvantameva
Sarvabhuta hite ratah.
sarvabhuta
So I will give you the Anvaya both sloka together. Okay. Sanniyamya Indriya Gramam Samabuddhaya Sarvatra Rataha Sarvabhuta Hite Ye tu Paryupasate Aksharam Anirdeshyam Sarvatragam Achintyam Kutastam Achalam Chadruvam Te Prapnuvanti Mam Eva. Sanniyamya, having restrained. Indriya Gramam, the group of sense organs, all the 5 sense organs. Gramam here means the group. Samabuddhayaha, being even-minded. Sarvatra, towards all. Rataha, and being interested. Sarva Bhuta Hite, in the welfare of all beings. Yetu, some devotees. Paryupasate, meditate upon. Aksharam, the imperishable Brahman. Anirdeshyam, which is anirdeshyam, indefinable. Avyaktam, unmanifest. Sarvatragam, all pervading. Achintyam, incomprehensible. Kutastam, immutable. Achalam, immovable. Chadruvam, and eternal. Te prapnuvanti, they attain. Mam eva, me alone. So Krishna says, having restrained the sense organs, being even-minded towards all, and being interested in the welfare of all beings, some devotees meditate upon the imperishable Brahman, which is indefinable, unmanifest, all-pervading, incomprehensible, immutable, immovable, and eternal. They attain me alone. So, in these 2 slokas, Krishna says, however, 2 means however, right? However means what? Even though I consider the Saguna Upasakas as great yogis, however, there are some people who follow Nirguna Ishvara Dhyanam, otherwise called Nirguna Brahma Dhyanam, as a part of Jnana Yoga Sadhana. And it is this Jnana Yoga which I referred to in my introduction as the 5th and the highest stage of Bhakti Yoga, you must remember. And therefore, in these 3 verses, Krishna is, in these 2 verses, Krishna is introducing Jnana Yoga Sadhana, which is the practice of Nirguna Ishvara Dhyanam. And as I said, Nirguna Ishvara Dhyanam is an integral part of Jnana Yoga Sadhana. And in technical language, this Nirguna Ishvara Dhyanam is called what? Nididhyasanam. So thus, there are some people who practice Nididhyasanam, which is a meditating upon my highest nature. And he says, Ye tu aksharam paryupasate. That too is what I said, however. Whereas, ye, there are those others who meditate upon aksharam. Aksharam here means the absolute Brahman. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. We have seen this definition in Mundaka Upanishad, right? And then Krishna goes on to describe that Nirgunam Brahma, Nirguna Ishvara, in several words. And all these are all Upanishadic words, and each word is a significant word. I will slightly rearrange those words for the sake of sequentially understanding. And some of these also will be a repetition of what we have already discussed in several contexts. But as far as Vedanta is concerned, Nirguna Brahman is concerned, any amount of repetition is worthwhile. Because only through that knowledge will go inside our intellect, our buddhi. The more we repeat, the more it will stay in our mind, and the more it will help in understanding our own true nature. And the answer for the question, who am I? Which is a very famous question with Bhagawad, which Bhagavan Maharishi, Ramana Maharishi used to tell everybody. Ask this question to yourself, who am I? That the answer is contained in these descriptions. And in fact, you can pick up any description from this. Replace each one of your identities like name, sex, caste, height, weight, qualification, etc., etc. Replace every one of them with one of these descriptions. And if you start doing that right now, that itself will be introducing yourself to or preliminary nididhyasanam only. I am not a male or female. I am avyaktam. My original nature is avyaktam, formless I am. So therefore, Krishna first takes up the description, avyaktam. Or we will take up. Krishna doesn't do it. We will take up avyaktam. Nirguna Ishvara or Ishvara in his highest form or highest nature is avyaktaha. Avyaktaha means what? In our language, sarva indriya agocharaha. Generally, we translate avyaktam as unmanifest. But here we can take the meaning to mean imperceptible, not perceptible to any sense organ. And we have 5 sense organs, and each sense organ is capable of perceiving one attribute. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, we know all that. So 5 sense organs objectify 5-fold attributes. In fact, if you look at it, the whole physical universe is nothing but a blend of all these 5 attributes only. 5 types of objects. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And that is why it is called Prapanchaha. Panchaha, 5. The world consisting of 5 segments in the form of this Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And that's why, when you close the 5 sense organs, the whole segmented world disappears. I will talk about all these things more in Mundaka Upanishad. And that too later stage, not now. Anyway, so Nirguna Krishna Ishvara does not have all these 5 attributes, and therefore he is called Avyaktam. And that means what? Krishna in his original form, in his higher form, cannot be seen, cannot be heard, smelled, tasted, touched. And therefore the flute-wielding Krishna who danced is not the real Krishna. Now this statement will disappoint so many people. They will ask, what do you mean? Krishna cannot be seen, not touched, etc. What about the Gopikas who danced with Krishna? What about us who day in and day out, we listen to all these Bhagavatam stories and all, and we are, even Vishnu Sahasranamam Dhyana Slokas when I am doing, I am only visualizing all the physical attributes, and you say they can't be seen. I can see how beautiful Krishna's lips are, how beautiful his eyes are. What about that Krishna? Is there two different Krishnas are there? This will be the question of many people. But what happens, being drowned in the Bhagavada Purana descriptions of Krishna, what they fail to understand is that according to Krishna himself, those descriptions are of non-original Krishna, not the real Krishna. They are apara prakriti. They are maya manusha vesha. And therefore, when you start with Saguna Ishwara Dhyanam, Saguna Ishwara Bhakti, you start with Maya Vesha, no problem. But you have to transcend that Maya Vesha and come to understand the higher Krishna's nature, higher nature of Krishna. Understanding Krishna through Puranas is a good starting point, but do not get stuck there. Transcend the Puranas. Elevate yourself to the description of the real Krishna, the Krishnatma, in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. So he says there are some people who meditate upon Avyaktam. Now, obviously, earlier also we asked this question, how can they meditate upon Avyaktam? Especially when you say Avyaktam means imperceptible. How can I meditate upon something which I cannot perceive? So for that, the answer is, we have to understand that there are many things which cannot be perceived by the sense organs, but they can be conceived by the mind, isn't it? And that is why, there is a joke. One person asked, is there God? The other person was a devotee. He said, yes, there is God. Where is he? You cannot see him. So he asked, when I cannot see something, I cannot perceive something, how can you say that there is God? Then this fellow asked, do you agree that you have got a buddhi? You have got intelligence? He said, yeah, I'm very intelligent. Can you see your intelligence? Can you show me your intelligence? So how can I show you intelligence? Intelligence is a trait. You can't perceive it. You have to only, you ask me some question, I will give you an intelligent answer. So he says, when you can't see your own intelligence, how can you see God who is imperceptible? How can you understand that God? So similarly, there are so many emotions like love, anger, happiness, etc. They are not perceptible. Many mathematical, scientific concepts and laws you do not see. You can probably perceive them by some logic. For example, magnetism, if you say, what is magnetism? Show me magnetism. I can't show you magnetism, but I can show you how magnetism operates by taking one magnet and some iron filings and show this is what is magnetism. But if you say, show me pure magnetism, I can't show you. So these are all concepts, ideas. And these ideas cannot be perceived by any sense organs, but they can be conceived by the mind. And that's why they are called concepts. Now the question is, okay, I understand. Nirguna Krishna cannot be conceived by the sense organs. And therefore, I should be able to conceive Nirguna Krishna by the mind. Isn't it? Perceive Nirguna Krishna with my mind. And in Upasanam, I am using my mind. So I should be able to see Krishna in my mind, Nirguna Krishna. And for that, Krishna puts another bombshell. He says, no, you can't do that because I am achintyam. I cannot be conceived by the mind also, nor can I be delivered by the mind. Of course, only after conception delivery is possible, isn't it? Therefore, I am not one of those concepts of the mind. Nirguna Brahman is not a mathematical theorem or idea. I am unobjectifiable by your mind, inconceivable by the mind also. So we can say, we earlier said, Sarva Indriya Gocharam, now Mano Agocharam also. So the first one is Avyaktam, Indriya Agocharam. Now second one is Mano Agocharam. So more we will see in the next class. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavada everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, Guruji.
Hare Om,
Namaste. Pranam.
Pranam.
Thank you.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Guruji,
Yeah.
when we talk of Nirguna, meditation, for example, if you take at another religion, I'm just sidestepping, say Islam, they follow that practice. Am I correct?
There is no meditation and all in Islam. There is only teaching. Somebody will teach,
True.
everybody has to
They-
believe.
they-
Period.
They
tell
do
you
5
go to
times
heaven.
prayers, no?
Huh?
No, true. They do 5 times prayers.
Prayers,
Looking at
yeah.
a direction.
That they say you do 5 times prayers, you will go to. There are certain things which I'm told. I've not read Quran. I'm told that there are certain things
mm,
if you do will qualify you for going to Jannat.
correct.
And in that Jannat, you will get 72 hoors and things.
True. Yeah, correct.
Of course, something like our description of Swarga. Okay. So, for them, that is the ultimate. That is the moksha for them. There is nothing called Atma Jnanam and Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. For them, even though the God is formless,
Yeah.
right? But that prayer is what? They look towards Mecca because
Correct.
there's some form, something is there in Mecca, and they are supposed to pray looking at that or visualizing that.
They got the Kaaba there, Kaaba.
There's a Kaaba or whatever it is. That is their form. Means what is it? It is still an alambanam for them. So at worst we can say through the 5 prayers, what they are doing is Saguna Ishwara Upasana only they are doing, not Nirguna. Form, direction are very important for them. And how can Nirguna Ishwara is all pervading? Means any direction you face, you should be able to do dhyanam for Nirguna Ishwara. Why only a particular direction? Right? So we can't compare. They're all incomparable. They're like, which is better? Islam is better or Hinduism is better? Incomparable things.
No, that is not comparable at all. I entirely agree.
Even it is not the Nirguna Dhyanam is there only in Advaita Vedanta. Even in Vishishta Advaitam, in Dvaitam, there is no Nirguna Dhyanam. There is no Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. There also, there's the same thing. Keep on doing all your karmas with faith and then do all this, Upasana, Saguna Upasana and all. Go to Brahmaloka. get Krama Mukti. That is their route they prescribe. There is nothing called Sadhyo Mukti even in those philosophies.
No, one more thing.
Hmm.
Like even in amongst the Christians, the Catholics have a Jesus Christ on the cross, etc.
Yes.
Whereas the Protestants do not believe in that.
No, do not believe in that. Yes. That is true.
So that is also Nirguna, this thing only.
Yeah, but then you see, you cannot just pick up one aspect and start comparing, You have to see what is in Nirguna. What do Protestants actually, the way it started was as a rebellion against Catholicism.
Catholicism, correct.
Henry VIII, the story we know, because that multiple marriages was banned. So this Henry VIII, he came out of the Roman Church and he started his own religion. So that is the background. Now, what do Protestants do? Because they don't pray to Christ. But what do they do? Honestly speaking, I do not know whom do they pray to rather. But
I thought they also follow the Bible, no?
They also follow the Bible. For them, there is Jesus Christ is there, but there is no form of Jesus Christ.
Correct, exactly.
So they just understand the life of Jesus Christ and take away all the good aspects of that for their own adoption in their life. And then they are happy, lead a very pious life, happy life and all that. And the basic idea is, I don't want to be associated with a cabal like a Roman Catholic Church and all that. I will have my own church in England and I will do my own, prayer and things like that and all. That is the background of that Protestant, movement rather. So they are also doing, but they don't have this Christ hung on, because hanging Christ and all is not relevant for human, good qualities to be imbibed.
Crucifixion on the cross.
Crucifixion means, see, there is a indirect message also in that. Suppose you follow all the things Christ taught, be kind to people, helpful, you will finally be crucified in the cross. This world will take you and crucify you. So the message could be, don't follow all these things. Be like a politician. Be always politically correct, and then you will lead a happy life. I'm just joking. I'm saying.
True.
So there is a possibility. I mean, some cynical fellow can come up with such an interpretation. If he's anti-Christian, he will say, "Oh, you Christian, you will all be crucified like Christ. Don't follow Christianity." He may say that. But then, of course, we are not saying that, because we respect all religions. For us, everybody's way, whomsoever they are praying, whomsoever is their God, whether it is alambana, form, formless, etc. Without form, there cannot be a meditation unless it is Advaita Vedanta. Because meditation involves mind, and mind is the reservoir for all the inputs coming from the sense organs. And now, if, as Krishna says, we'll see more in the next class, Achintya means even mind cannot conceive my higher nature means what? How can you meditate upon such a thing, which you can't even conceive? So there cannot be any meditation. That will be the normal 99% will come to that conclusion. It is only that 1% who by some chance come to Advaita Vedanta and study Shankaracharya, Bhashyam and things like that and all, Upanishads and all. They will understand what exactly is Nirguna Dhyanam, and they will also understand that the route that they have come through is through Saguna Dhyanam only. They will only understand. Other people, they will stop there. Other people with Saguna Dhyanam, they will stop. They will not go further. That is how.
Just a comment.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make a comment, Guruji.
No, that's fine. I mean, as I said, we have to understand, from everybody's perspective. Because, of course, these days I don't get into the argument. But when I started into this, getting into Vedanta and all that. Not even going to a teacher. That is the time when I was in Kuwait, and
Okay.
I was, listening to all these
Okay.
tapes of Swami Paramathananda and all that. And I was working in an organization, which is an Islamic organization. It was an
Okay.
Islamic bank. Around me, everybody was Islamic. I was the sole non-Islamic person in that entire organization. There
Odd
was
man
one
out.
more person. There was one Christian who was head of credit cards. I was heading the credit risk management. So I was Hindu. So one of my colleagues, he asked me this question. See, you said talk about rebirth and all that, right?
Yeah,
How,
correct.
how can you say a person is reborn? Because if a person is reborn, the population of the world should remain the same.
Constant. Mathematically
Constant.
correct.
That's a
Mathematically correct.
logical question, right?
Absolutely.
Absolute. That time I was wondering, yeah, it's a very logical question. Our culture talks about Hinduism and rebirth, etc. And he is asking, if everybody is reborn, that means the population should remain constant. How is it that the world population is increasing?
Increasing.
What is the answer we'll give? So then
Islam.
I didn't know the
Islam is
answer.
the answer.
I didn't know the answer at that time. But then now if he ask me the question, I will answer. I will say, when we say reborn, not necessarily as a human being. We are talking
Exactly.
about billions of jivas which are there. An ant can be reborn as a human being. A plant can be reborn as a human being. A human being can be reborn as a plant or a mosquito.
Animal or insect or
So
anything.
what we are talking about Hinduism is not a human being, it is the jiva. It is the life being
Life.
regenerated. So now I will give a very authoritative answer to him. But this is what happens.
One more thing, even the Catholics do not believe in rebirth,
No.
but Jesus Christ got resurrected.
Even resurrection, that I believe.
From the grave.
That's why, if you start sitting and analyzing everything, including our own Hinduism philosophies, you will find. Of course, Shankaracharya, Adi Shankara does that in Brahma Sutra Bhashya. Every philosophy, Buddhism, Jainism, everything he picks up, and then he says, this is you say one thing now and another thing, at another time you say another thing, all self-contradicting philosophies. Advaitam is the only philosophy which is steadfast in beginning to end. It is saying the same thing. That's what he argues. But then if you see everywhere, there are contradictions. And a person with an open mind, with a rational mind, if he starts thinking about it, he will never get convinced about any other religion or even in Hinduism, any other philosophies. That is the thing. But I'm not saying that those philosophies are useless. They are not an end in themselves. They are means to an end which will be ending in Advaita. That is how we have to understand. Today, a person may be a Christian following Saguna Brahma, prayers and whatever he does. Next birth, he may be. You see, that is why, we see this pratyaksham. There are many people in the Western world who are practicing Christians. They are slowly now moving towards Hinduism.
Hinduism, correct. There
are people. And my wife, and when we were in Kuwait, there are many people from Europe, European countries. They come to yoga class because they find that Hinduism is offering them a much better solution about their life, their ideology, their thinking, the solutions to their day-to-day problems and all, as compared to any other religions which they have been following. So they are all now migrating to Hinduism. Of course, they don't proclaim, we have become non-Christians or and all. They may still go to the churches, attend the Sunday Mass, everything they may do. They may celebrate Christmas also. But slowly they are understanding the value of what life is, a way of life, because we always say Hinduism is a way of life, it is not a religion.
Correct.
So, what
true.
way of life will give you maximum happiness in your life? And then, if they come to the Upanishad class, with that, what way of life will give you the eternal happiness in your life is what Hinduism teaches. And that is why we have got so many Swamis and Swaminis who are all Western people who have studied under Swami Chinmayananda, who have studied under Swami
True.
Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati, and they all took sannyasa. And today they are all teaching everywhere in the world.
Mm.
So that way, I'm not saying we should compare and say superior, inferior, and all. All religions have got a validity for their practitioners.
Practice.
They are all gradation, we have to understand. That is all we are saying, that today we are born a Hindu, tomorrow you may be born, maybe as an animal, who knows?
Of course,
As
of
a
course.
pet dog in some Hollywood actor's home, you may be born as a pet dog because of all the punyas that you have done in this.
The karma.
Guruji,
Karma is the Swana, this thing only, birth as a dog. But that dog can be, very punyavan dog.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Having owned
Guru-
mansion and
Traveling in
Guruji,
luxury cars.
same as you, I was in Saudi Arabia, okay?
yeah,
And one thing what I liked, even anything and everything they speak, they always add inshallah.
inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah. That means even if
Ishwararpana
you,
buddhi and Ishwara prasad buddhi, yeah.
knowingly or unknowingly,
Yes.
but for every sentence they will add inshallah. Say, we are going to meet them. After 2 minutes in the meeting room, he will say, inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
To that extent,
because
actually.
see, that is the faith.
Yeah.
And it is that inshallah is what we define as what? Brahma, this Ishwararpana bhava. So everything, whatever words they speak, whatever they do, when they take the inshallah name, what they are saying, I am offering everything to Allah. As ordained by Allah, this is being done.
Right.
So it's a very good bhavana. Yeah. Very good bhavana. True. Yeah. True. Very true. So that is how it is. Anyhow.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Any other
Namaskaram, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Hari Om.
Guruji, namaste Guruji.
Sorry.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste Anjali ji.
Yeah. This how to meditate on Nirguna Brahma, we will be seeing in the subsequent topics, we'll be discussing.
How to meditate means sit and you start imagining, you know what is Nirguna Brahma is. You also know that I am Nirguna Brahman. Now the description Krishna will give.
Yeah.
So you meditate upon that.
That is what
meditation means. What we should understand, what is meditation. Meditation means, meditation on Nirguna Brahma means, if you understand that I am not a male, I am not a female, I am not a postgraduate or whatever it is. I am not a father, I am not a mother. But my real nature is consciousness. If you start thinking in those lines, then today, what is your problem in life? Your problem is all arising from your identification with all these identities.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Because I am a male, I am the head of the family, everybody should listen to me. Isn't it? That Abhimanam, being a male, comes. At night, I can go alone, but I will not allow my wife or daughter to go alone because they are females. So all these kind of problems in life come because of our strong identification with what we think we are. And that means what? Meditation means you have to disidentify yourself with all these identities. Samatva bhava, everything is same. I am not somebody different from others. The essence of everybody is same. Only appearance are different. Appearance do not matter. Essence of everything is same. Right?
Yes.
Now you eat a jalebi or you eat a laddu or some other sweet. You take a Mysore pak, whatever you eat. What is the essence of everything? Sugar.
Sweet.
Heat, right? Now, if we have to serve sweet to somebody, you may serve any of them. All are same as far as you are concerned. So, that bhava, that, oh, I like Mysore pak better than jalebi, if you say, that means you are still in samsara. If you say, for me, it is, I'm indifferent, any sweet is a sweet. Whether I take, give me Mysore pak, you give me, suppose somebody in a marriage asks you, which sweet you want? I've got 3 varieties. You say, you give me anything, all are sweet only, everything is sugar only, I'm a sugar patient. Everything is going to increase my sugar only. It is not that if I take Mysore pak, my sugar will be lower and all, nothing. So, coming to that kind of an understanding and that kind of assimilation of that knowledge is what Nirguna Brahma Upasana is all about. Upasana does not necessarily mean you sit in one closed place with the eyes closed and, like this yoga mudra. No.
Yeah.
With open eyes, you can do Upasana. Meditation means your mind should be focused on that. So if your mind is focused, I am Achintyam, I am Arupam, and then keep on repeating it, automatically you will start assimilate that knowledge, and your behavior, your attitude towards everybody else, including cats and dogs, will remain the same. You will not harm anybody because you don't want to be harmed, isn't it? Harm anybody. You will help everybody to the best physically possible. It is possible. You will help. You will have compassion for every jiva. You will not destroy the nature because you are part of it. You are the actually creator of nature. You are the creator of Maya, the entire Maya Prapancha. You will understand I am the creator. Being a creator, how can I destroy that? So all those things, and it's all very advanced talking to you because you asked the question. But then keep traveling in the spiritual path, you will reach that stage. As I keep saying, whether this life, next life, don't worry about it. Don't become anxious whether I will get moksha, I will get moksha. Moksha will automatically come provided you take the right route. That's it.
Yeah.
Become anxious. Okay.
Keep trying. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Guruji. Very good.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om, Guruji. Thank you.
Guruji. Hari Om. Guruji, I have one comment, if I may.
Yeah.
Just in terms of what you said now, this last bit of satsanga, is the idea of not comparing, not looking at the differences that may be shown in appearances, whether it be religious differences or attitudinal differences, that are just the appearances, but the essence of every jiva or every bit of this cosmos is that we are part of one, that we cannot be divided. The divisiveness is looking at the differences, comparing which religion has which type of belief system. At the end of the day, whatever belief system anybody has is their belief system. They have some belief.
Yeah.
So to put it in a perspective that it is better or worse is going to a lower understanding versus just accepting that there are the multitude of beings and forms in nature. And you brought that out very well in today's satsanga as well. Thank you
Hari
so
Om.
much. Hari Om. Thank you.
See, even Hinduism also, to a very large extent, is a belief system.
Yes.
It is only when you come to Advaita Vedanta that vichara, that inquiry starts. Till we come to this Advaita Vedanta, it's a belief system. You believe there is a heaven. You believe you will get moksha by going to the heaven. It's a belief system only. Even Hinduism, 99% of the people are still in the belief system only. So the world population itself, you can say they are all, most of them, majority of them are following a belief system. Only few who come to Advaita Vedanta, to the Upanishads, they know that it is a question answer. It is an inquiry. I have to find the truth. I have to find the reality, because that what other people are saying is not the ultimate reality. That may be a relative reality, I agree. What is the ultimate reality? That is the quest. That is the search for an Advaita. For Advaitin.
I
That is
I
why we have
so
landed.
I so appreciate how you said that, because if we look at differences, we will see it everywhere. If we look at something in comparison, we see that. But if we move beyond comparison to find the essence, we realize it's just one. And
Yes,
you can't divide an essence. An essence, it's impossible to divide. And even the discussions on it become then just that,
yeah,
comparison and discussion,
true.
rather than understanding and acceptance. So I greatly appreciate the satsanga as well, because it rejuvenates in many ways, and reemphasizes and clarifies the focus. The focus is not a discussion for the sake of conversation or
Yes,
chit chat. It is for knowledge and understanding, which can't be done by putting down any other
yeah,
belief system
true.
or anything like that. And if we expand our own selves, then we accept everything.
True. Very true.
Thank you,
Hari Om.
Guruji.
Thank
Hari Om.
you. Hari Om. Hari Om. So I'll close the session. We'll continue next week. Hari Om. Thank you.
Hari Om.